What is going on, everyone? My name is Northy, and today is a good day. You can see on the screen right here, we are a prize winner. We have managed to get ourselves a prize card this week. It feels good when you can make the most of the opportunities, and you can see here exactly where we've gotten that from, but I am going to get to this one last to show you guys just how well we did. But overall, pretty amazing week. A few changes here and there that could have seen us do even better. I'm pretty happy overall. This was such a good week. We're gonna have a quick look at the star powers first, and we're starting off really good. You can see that we've got some players that did really well. Obviously, you saw at the home page, and Doherty was the best backman for the week, so we press here, and you can see it was between Libber and Doherty, and we managed to pick the right one by 10 points. We really would have been okay either way, but we got the right one. Sam Doherty gives us 130. Very happy there. We got a young guns, though. Nick Martin. Not a bad pick. It wasn't a bad pick by any means. I was a little scared. I looked at Chad Warner. I'm like, maybe I could have picked Chad instead, but thankfully, he didn't have as well of a game. Zach Butters was actually the best pick of the week, and honestly, I find it so difficult to ever pick him at the right time, so I'm not too stressed that we didn't get him or didn't get the right one for young guns, but we most certainly got the right one for sharpshooters. Charlie Curnow, 10 goals. This is the second time this year that I have managed to pick the sharpshooters, or the best sharpshooters player. I've picked both the 10 goal kickers this year when they've kicked 10. I picked Taylor Walker when he kicked 10 against West Coast, and I've picked Charlie Curnow when he kicked 10 against West Coast. So can't be too unhappy with that at all. 146 points. Big win right there. This is probably where it goes bad, though. Mighty mid. You can see here, Nick Dacos hanging around the bottom. 86 points. This is probably where things went wrong. Bont is looking to be a much safer pick at the moment, which is crazy to think about, because Nick Dacos was so good for so long. 128, though, from Bont would have been the winning one for me this week, and I definitely could have picked him. I feel like I definitely could have. Luke Davies-Uniacke would have been the most unlikely of picks, I guess, but the most possible, I guess. Rosie, maybe. Parker, I've picked before. He had 127, which is crazy. Bont with 128, though, I feel like would have been the most likely pick outside of Dacos if I didn't go with him, so it definitely hurts not getting that one. But we look at Supreme as well, and we got the number one pick for that as well, so you may be thinking, surely you got a prize card for this. No. Even with all those good picks, 20th, we were 10 spots away. We were still 14 points off, so that Nick Dacos pick ruined us. If we had switched out Dacos with Bont and Pelly, we would have been somewhere up here. We would have made top 10, but no, unfortunately we didn't. 586 fantasy points is what we're finishing off with. Heartbreaking. Truly hurts. I thought for sure we'd have a chance to get a Star Powers one this week, but the one player you thought would be the one that'd do it for you ends up being the one who ruins it for you. So happy with pretty much everything else. Like, this was a smash out the park. This was getting 3 out of the 5 the best players for each category. You can't get much better than that, but all it takes is one, man, with these small lineups like this, and it ruins you. It stops you from getting prize cards. We're going to look at Ultra now, and this one was meh. Look, getting number 1 for this one in double points is a great start. 266 points from Jack Steele. Amazing. Sicily, even him would have been a really good pick. LDU was okay. Luke Parker I had at the time. I didn't actually have this Marcus Bontempelli. There will be an album update coming very soon. I believe it's coming out Thursday at this rate. Thursday is when you will be seeing the album update, and you will be seeing all of the cards that I have at the moment. You'll notice here, though, Bont's double points I do have, so he will potentially get the move up in there. To check sharpshooters, I, for some reason, don't have Curnow showing up here, so I think I actually have to put in the silver card code to be able to choose him in this game mode, which is really weird, but oh well. We look at young guns as well. 80 points from Will Day. If I had Nick Martin around, again, I think I haven't put in his code, so I got to do that for next week. Chuck in Nick Martin. And Rory Sloane looked actually all right to start. I think he was leading after the first quarter with like 50 points. I'm like, this could be really good, but only ended up dropping the 82, which honestly is not bad for Rory Sloane. It's bang average basically for him, and I'm not mad at the performance he had. Side bottom probably would have been the best pick this week, but there's only so much I can do. My Star Powers team isn't the strongest, to be honest, but after this week, I feel like we should be able to get something. You can see 91st. Honestly, considering we were missing a few and there were some that could have been a bit different, 780 points is not bad. Jack Steele definitely carried hard this week. Definitely did a massive carry job for us. But overall, I think next week we can find some ways to pick some players who can really show out for us. So I'm excited. I'm actually really keen to see what we can do. But yeah, both at least top 100, and then the 20th place here is both great and bittersweet because, like, you really want that prize card, but unfortunately gonna have to wait another week until we get Star Powers prize cards, unfortunately. We're gonna go over to Top Team, though. This is where things get exciting. So this started off really good. Bontempelli was the first game of the week against Essendon, and he dropped himself 128. It wasn't the best for the week. You can see there's second best to Jack Steele with 133. So really good pick. Only missed out by 5 points. Then we check the Ruckman, Rowan Marshall, also best for the week. I was really happy that I managed to pick that one out. 123 points, just like that. Two players who we made the changes for. These two, we made the changes. Took out English and took out Taranto. Both paid off amazingly. Now we go to the ones that we expect to do well. Have a look at this. Golden, 89. 89, man. Can't make it up. I swear this happens every time. I had mentioned that I hoped a lot of people would pick Max Gawn and then Errol Goulden would still outperform him. Max Gawn just did his thing. He just absolutely destroyed it. Got the hitouts, kicked some goals, marks, not as many disposals, but still did everything he did. And then Charlie Curnow. I'm not mad at the fact that Charlie Curnow did well, and I also kind of expected it. But I was really hoping Errol Goulden would hit 120. I really thought he could have. Up against a Fremantle side that wasn't all too impressive. You see here, Lockie Schultz, though, 101. A very interesting player to kind of get up like that. But what can you do? And then defenders as well. Dawson, oh, he did better than Goulden, but you can see there were so many players who did better than him. Doherty is the best example. Sicily had himself a bounce-back game. Ridley, although he got himself injured, the poor bugger, I think he was with a quad. I think I remember he came off with a quad injury. He was getting marks all over the place. Tom Stewart even had himself a really good game. We actually took him out, which is interesting. Sinclair was even good, even though I didn't really think he would. Daniel, Whitfield, like so many players we could have picked, but we went with Dawson because he's been doing so well. Thank God we didn't switch him out with Dacos. A lot of people may have done that, but 2 marks is just not what I expect from Dawson. Maybe if he had just been a little bit more impactful, he would have been able to carry Adelaide across the line, get that win against Melbourne, but nope, unfortunately not. So what that means for us is even though we made 2 amazing changes, we still finished 68th, over 400 points, which means averaged over 100 per player, but still not good enough. 467 was the least amount to get a prize card. We were 30 off, meaning that Dawson, if we'd switched out with Doherty or maybe Sicily, 2 probably choices that I could have made. And then Goulden. Gawn was the most obvious choice of the week, if I'm being completely honest. I mentioned it in the preview. Maxi Gawn was one that a lot of people would have picked up. And in the end, we probably should have because it would have seen us with a prize card. That is really sucky. That hurts a lot. But look, I would be lying to say I wasn't, happy, to be honest, because you can see that I won a prize card this week, meaning it has to come from somewhere else. That's where this comes to play. Oh my god, what a week. Let's have a look now. We got our defenders first, and let's have a look at the defenders first off. Oh, look at all the green. Look at all the green in the top. We picked the best player for the week in Doherty. Sicily had himself a bounce back week. Caleb Daniel, although we did switch him in for, I think it was Sinclair or Stewart, still got himself 109, so didn't lose all too much. Whitfield had 106, and then the 2 most disappointing ones have been the 2 most common players for the week, which is kind of good because it means that a lot of other people would have had him in there as well, so we're not really losing out on much, especially considering our other 4 absolutely stepped up. Absolutely. You can see here, these are season averages, so you know that a lot of the average players, the average best players for the year even, a lot of them did well. So people probably didn't have too many surprises on their plate, but we're going to check the rest as well. Midfields, I'm pretty happy with my picks here too. Pick and steal was such a great idea. 133 points for him. Very, very good pick. Bontempelli, we mentioned before. Taranto had himself a good game again. Not near his season average, but you know that his season average has been pretty good so far. So 116 is definitely good. Rosie with 108, not bad at all. 3 off his season average, but we can live with that. And then just the 1 poor performance with Zach Merritt. We can deal with 1 poor performance. That's what I've learned with top 18. There's so many picks to go through that you just have to land majority of them. Not all of them have to be good. Hence why you saw, like, my Silver Star powers, we picked 3 of the best possible players, but 1 bad pick ruined us for the entire thing. This one, not quite. You see, Merritt, 30 points off. I talked about Rowan Marshall before, 123 points, the best pick. So happy with that pick out. And then we look at the forwards. Man, was this a good week for forward. Obviously, Errol Goulden wasn't the best pick for the top 4, but you can see a few names here. Gawn, Curnow, Bolton, Martin, like, This was a good week. We picked the best 2 forwards. Kerno having a massive field day against West Coast. Obviously, no Harry Mackay meant he was the only big option, and he absolutely delivered. 146 points, best performance of the round. Go on with 115. 3 in a row here. We had Martin, Goulden, and Jackson. The only one I've picked in the past is Danaher, which is actually a bit of a surprising one. Rankin with 100 points, and Shea Bolton was actually on ball, so only getting 80 points is a little disappointing. Okay, I can't complain too much. It is a forward. You do have to be very, very careful when you criticize those forwards, because oftentimes you don't get performances that are that good. But my forwards absolutely lived up to it, and with maybe 1 or 2 bad picks for this round, that gave us 3rd. We got a podium position. See there, our name in the bronze. Look at that. That was so good. Love to see myself finally getting on the podium. It's good to see. Yeah, I think top 18 is by far the easiest mode to get prize cards in. I've got 3 now for the year, which is amazing. But I also believe that my choices and my picks this year have kind of been what's been letting me down. And you can see we didn't just get 3rd by a little bit. We got it by plus 30 points. We did a very, very good job this week. 1,900 is an amazing score. To get 50 over that is even better. It's a top 20 place finish mode as well. So if you're in the top 20 placed players, you can actually get yourself a prize card. Actually, I think it's 20. I'm pretty sure it's 20. Yeah. For some reason, I thought maybe 30, but that's all good. Look, I'm just really happy we have ourselves a prize card this week. And not just that, I'm going to go and show you my tips, because I'm very proud of this. My score go down to round 19. 9 out of 9, baby. We got all 9. Now, I think you can get prize cards from getting all 9 correct, but I think it all depends on whether you did it first or whether you're in like the top 10 or so people who got 9 out of 9 tips. So clearly I didn't, because I didn't get like a pop-up for tips prize cards. I just got the 9 out of 9 for the week. But honestly, I'm happy with that, because I'm not a good tipper. So getting 9 out of 9 like this, amazing. We picked Brisbane at the Gabba. Carlton was a pretty obvious one. The Dogs game was a lot more open than I thought, but we ended up tipping the right team. Sydney versus Freo. A lot of people thought Freo because it was at Perth, but Sydney's form has just been a little better as of late, and Fremantle have just been disappointing. GWS finally won in the nation's capital. I didn't realise it had been that long since they'd done so. Melbourne in a thriller against Adelaide. Adelaide nearly came back and stole it from them, but Melbourne, as you know, they had their usual clutch performance. Then we go to Collingwood versus Port, and I'm very shocked Collingwood took this game. I thought it was all Ports, but Collingwood just does Collingwood things, man. It is so tough to beat them. So tough. For the last 2 years, even if you have them up against the wall, you cannot beat them. It is so tough to do so, as they take a 2-point win in Adelaide. Mad. That is mad. Then we go to Richmond versus Hawthorn, another game that we get very lucky to get correct. Hawthorn realistically could have won that game with relative ease, but Richmond at the death, Liam Baker's goal to win it for them ends up giving them the win. And then this one should have been a lot more obvious, but no, of course, heartbreak. If you guys tuned into the live stream that I did for this one, just know it was painful. But we are going to go and check out our prize card now. Let's have a look at what we're going to get here. You can see a lot have now been claimed. So Geelong is out, Carlton, Collingwood, Essendon out. Dogs, I really wanted Bond, so that sucks, and Richmond as well. So we only have a few to pick from. We've already picked 2 of them as well. I think I'm going to go with a Lachie Neale, because as a previous Brownlow medalist, if I'm looking here, I don't even know whether he'll be the next one out. I have no clue, but we're going to pick Lachie Neale before we lose him. Beautiful. You can see the little tick, the little 1 logo next to it. Now we have officially selected Lachie Neale, which means we've now got 3 prize cards for the year. At least we're getting a couple more. I still really want to get myself a Star Powers. At this point, I can't really pick. I just want to go with Todd Goldstein, because I really want to try and get both the North Melbourne prize cards this year. I don't know where I've put my prize cards for the moment. I think they're just hiding somewhere. I've got so many cards on my desk, man. It's a bit out of control. I'm getting ready for this album update, and there's a lot that I got to do. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Hopefully you guys had just as much success as I have this week. What a week indeed. No scores over top 100. Really happy with that. So massive week, massive week. But if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Everything is very much appreciated, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.